Everyone has a story. Everyone has a WWE story. And I figured what better way to reintroduce the channel and do a first video back than to give you guys mine. I figured the WWE story, it's a fun topic. It's one that everyone has their own perspective on. Everyone has their own version of this. And for starters, down below, comment your guys' WWE stories. When did you start watching? What was the first segment you saw? If you remember, what was the first match you saw? Who was your first favorite wrestler? What was the first pay-per-view you watched? Just sound off down below. It's a fun, interactive type video, and if you guys want to do video responses to this, go for it, okay? Let's make this a little trend, hopefully. Hopefully this doesn't just die with me, but let's try this, okay? What is your WWE story? For me, I'll never forget when I first started watching. I was sat there in my bedroom at the time, which was on the other side of my house, watching the WWE Experience. It was a Saturday night, middle of August 2011. CM Punk comes on the screen, and this is the whole CM Punk, Kevin Nash, night after SummerSlam segment. Okay, just for some context, if you don't know, at SummerSlam 2011, Kevin Nash cost CM Punk the WWE title. There's your little rundown. So CM Punk came out there, standing on the stage, reading off his phone. Okay, he gets a text message from his sister, pretty much just roasting Kevin Nash, because Kevin Nash was reading a text message that Triple H sent him. Funny segment, okay? You go back and watch it now, there's a good bit of real life beef in there, but nonetheless, that's my first introduction to wrestling. That's the first segment I saw, okay? CM Punk reading a troll text message his sister sent him about Kevin Nash. And ever since I saw that, I became intrigued, okay? Little 8-year-old me, little 8-year-old Jimmy the Elitist was hooked on it. And what exactly it was that made me get into it and stay into it, I've thought about a lot recently, and I'll talk about that in coming videos, but to me, just generally, I was entertained. That was really the first thing that came to my mind. I was entertained by that. I was intrigued. I was captivated. Okay, seeing a guy trash talking another guy in a show that's going to lead to him punching him, that type of thing, it's a fun dynamic. And with that, my passion for wrestling was born. From then on out, I became, I guess, a bit of a junkie for the WWE Experience. Okay, Matt Striker, shout out to you, my guy. You ran a cracking WWE Experience show back 10 years ago, okay? This thing was quality, okay? It was 1 hour of just top to bottom, elite tier content, late 2011. Be that Mark Henry beating up the Big Show every week, be that Sin Cara botching every episode of SmackDown, be that The Miz and R-Truth getting arrested, or whether that was Triple H beating CM Punk. Regardless of what it was, okay, the WWE Experience with my boy, our boy, Matt Striker, wrapped it up really well, and it was a great introduction for me into wrestling, and to me, it set the stage for my passion, and from there, oh god, where do you want to go from here? I guess I'll tell you guys one story. I'll never forget this one. I'm sat there on my couch. It's late December 2011, maybe beginning of January 2012. I'm sat on my couch watching the WWE Experience, and this was during the Embrace the Hate storyline. Everyone's favorite storyline, where Kane tried to turn Cena heel, which was never going to happen, but essentially, if you missed that storyline, John Cena, the poster child, mainstream face of the company, spent 2 months throwing Zack Ryder to the wolves and having Zack Ryder get abused, pushed off stages, put in a neck brace, cucked out, sent under a ring into hell, all this kind of stuff. Good guy babyface Cena put Zack Ryder through that just so Cena could show that he respects everybody's nation and then get the win at WrestleMania or at Elimination Chamber or whatever. So basically, I'm watching this WWE Experience episode. You've got Kane in the middle of the ring, or under the ring, and he's pulling Zack Ryder under the ring. Cena saves Zack Ryder. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god. I'm watching this, and to me, I don't know any better. Okay, I'm watching this thinking that this is some cataclysmic, world-ending event. Oh my god, this 7-foot-tall demon from hell with a mask just pulled this man under the ring, and then superstar babyface Cena just yanked him out. Like, to me, that was the biggest deal. Okay, I'm sat there as an nearly 9-year-old in like 35-degree Celsius temperatures in the middle of summer in Australia, watching a 7-foot-tall demon from hell try and abduct an internet online sensation, Zack Ryder. Like, that kind of experience I'll never forget. And it really does lead into my next point, okay? How I found out wrestling wasn't real. Obviously, wrestling's fake, wrestling this, wrestling that. When I was 8, going on 9, I heard a lot of that because I was always the guy who would AA my pillow on the ground and pin it, or, you know, spear a pillow into a wall, that type of stuff. I guess, you know, kids being kids, but to me, I heard that, oh, wrestling isn't real, wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake, wrestling's fake. I'm like, okay, sure, I enjoy it, but sure, you spew that slander. And then I proceeded to Google Kane one night, okay? Because Kane, as I said just before, he was terrifying, alright? Kane was abducting men under rings, terrorizing my second favorite superstar, John Cena. And one night I had enough, okay? I Googled Kane, alright? I Googled Kane, clicked on his Wikipedia page, and to my surprise, I saw a picture of 45-year-old Glenn Jacobs, this bald man in a suit, who I think he was beginning his political career, or he might not have been, but there was a picture of him as the Wikipedia homepage with just him without a mask as Glenn Jacobs, the 44-year-old man. And I was just like, that's Kane? What? So there was that, and then I scrolled down and I clicked on the thing that talked about Undertaker and Paul Bearer, because obviously Kane, Undertaker, Paul Bearer, all links up. And I saw that it said Paul Bearer was supposedly the father of Kane, or like the father of The Undertaker, and I was like, hold up, Paul Bearer was only like 7 years older than them. Like, you have to be at least probably 16 to be the parent. That doesn't make sense. This isn't real. And it hit me like a stack of bricks. I'm like, oh my god, what I'm watching with this 7-foot-tall masked demon from hell abducting an internet social media star and Cena making out with the internet media star's girlfriend, that isn't real. Oh my god. And from that moment on, I guess my absolute, oh my god, I absolutely love this fandom, it's so real to me, that side of things dwindled a little bit, but I was still a massive fan, alright? This was during the CM Punk 434 reign, and as you guys can see from my CM Punk shirt, okay, I was a fan. I was a massive fan, and I had the wristbands, I had this belt, obviously not the replica WWE spinner title, but to me, as a 9-year-old, it would suffice, alright? This belt, it did the job, you know, it was a good enough belt for me to impersonate CM Punk and hold up and, you know, rock bottom my pillow on the ground, GTS my pillow, and then hold up that title pretending I'd just beaten Dolph Ziggler. It did the job, okay? It really did. And from then on, I was a massive Punk fan right through 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. During that time, I got into wrestling YouTube. Obviously, I didn't start making YouTube videos at all until December of 2019, so nearly 2 years ago. But that said, I started watching wrestling YouTube videos in 2012. Yeah, 2012. I was watching Silly Super Pop, or as you guys would know him, Grimm's Toy Show. I was watching all his stuff back then. That stuff was hilarious. To me, as an 8, 9, 10-year-old, that stuff just... Jesus Christ, a grown-ass man who's 280 pounds, going to Walmarts, flipping off action figures, slipping on the floor at Walmart, like, that stuff's great. And I remember I was watching as well, Assault and Battery 777, Stevie Breach. I'd be watching Zach Brown's stuff. This is, God, 9 years ago. I was watching this content thinking, wow, this looks fun. Hopefully I'll do this one day. And, I mean, now we're here, which is pretty cool. I mean, if you told eight-year-old Jimmy, this would be me. Wow, damn, oh crap. But yeah, that being said, I was just a massive fan. All my friends at school, or at least some of them, were watching back in 2013. It's always cool when you have friends who are actually watching wrestling at the same time as you, like in your real life, because obviously having the online connection with other wrestling fans around the world, that's awesome. It really is, and props to you guys. But if you know, you know, okay? Having real life, like good friends of yours who are watching this stuff weekly, and for me, that was in 2013. Alright, I had my best mates watching The Shield beat up every combination of really good WWE stars. I was having my friends watching Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. Alright, all my friends are Brock Lesnar fans. I was a Punk fan. So you got to SummerSlam 2013. I'm like, Punk's gonna defeat the Beast. The best is gonna beat the Beast. You watch, pal. You watch, damn it. Alright, Punk's gonna beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And then bloody Brock beat him. But that's not the point, okay? The point is, it was cool. Okay, it was really cool back when I was, 8, 9, 10, even going on 11. You get to 2014, CM Punk leaves. Okay, Punk, as we know, quits infamously January 2014. And from there, I was still a big fan. 2014, that was a really good year for WWE, in my opinion. Obviously, compared to like 2005 or 1998, not the greatest year. Okay, not the greatest year, but in my opinion, as an 11-year-old, it was pretty damn good. Alright, watching The Shield and the Wyatt family having classics, watching Daniel Bryan have his moment at the time, really sick. Watching Batista, I found Batista so cool. Watching John Cena beating up Bray Wyatt, like all this type of stuff, really cool, objectively awesome. And from there, you get to 2015, and the quality of product hardly increases. You get Seth Rollins cashing in, and I'm watching, at the time, as a 12-year-old, Seth Rollins running away from everyone, having this like 8-month reign. I'm like, okay, you know, Cena's doing his open challenges, I'm enjoying that. You've got, what else? What else even was there in 2015? Alright, you had Cena with his open challenges. I guess Brock and The Undertaker was really good. I enjoyed that. Obviously Punk wasn't there, Bryan wasn't there after about April. Like, there wasn't too much in 2015, but I kept watching. I was intrigued. I thought NXT could deliver some big talents. We could have another big world title run for Cena. We could have, maybe CM Punk will come back. Like, all this kind of stuff. And then we go into 2016. I just started getting a bit burnt out. By this stage, I'm entering high school, I was in high school at this stage in 2016. I was, 13. I'm in high school. And I just tuned out, you know, like 2016. I have a weird relationship with 2016. I've seen a lot of people praise the summer of 16. Superkick Studios, my guy, you're a goat, my guy. Superkick Studios made the summer of 16 video, which was a pretty banger of a video, but he made that video, he summed up perfectly, just the general time period, summer of 16. It was a fun time to be a fan if you were like really into it. For me personally, I was never really like that into it. I was following WWE, through the first half of 2016. Obviously, that's the babyface Roman Reigns push. That's Brock Lesnar beating up Dean Ambrose, and neither of them wanted to be wrestling each other. That was Sasha Banks, Becky, and Charlotte having great matches every week. That was the first half of 2016, yeah? And then we hit the draft. Okay, we hit the draft, and things change. SmackDown becomes this great work rate show with Cena and all this type of good stuff. And then I quit watching when Kevin Owens won the Universal title. Okay, this to me I didn't like. At the time, this is 13-year-old me. I'm watching this show, and I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. Okay, this guy looks, he looks less intimidating than my next door neighbor. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm a 13-year-old watching this show, and you've got Kevin Owens, which Kevin Owens in 2016 had a proper beer belly. Kevin Owens casually winning the Universal title and being built as the face of Raw, which kind of does, in a way, contradicts the fact that it was purely about entertainment, and I was looking at it, I guess, as more of a real sport and thinking that Owens isn't a legitimate enough fighter because he doesn't look enough like a wrestler who's intimidating and can beat you up. But at the same time, like, a 13-year-old me saw Owens as champion. I was just like, bro, already Raw's not good. It's 3 hours long. It's boring. I'm not really in tune with a lot of what's happening. And I tuned out. I stopped watching altogether through the rest of 2016, through 2017, 2018, and we get to 2019. 2019 comes, but this stage I'm in year 11, midway through year 11, doing the school grind, doing the school stuff, playing sports, being active, socializing a bunch, and then I just get this little itch. And no, it wasn't lice, it wasn't ticks, it was the wrestling bug. Okay, I begin watching wrestling again, and the first segment I saw when I began watching again was... I can't believe this is a real thing. The first segment I watched back was Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, of all people, hitting Baron Corbin with a steel chair. Okay, this was the Raw before Super Showdown? I think, or Stomping Grounds. I think maybe Stomping Grounds. It was like the June 10th episode of Raw in like 2019. This like crappy mid-June 2019 Raw which like 2.5 million people watched. You had about 5,000 people watching live in attendance. Just this mediocre Raw. Seth Rollins hits Baron Corbin with a steel chair to close the show. And I just started watching again. Okay, at this stage, I've been in tune with wrestling hardly at all. As I said, I've barely been watching for the past 3 years. I get back into it. Okay, I start watching WWE Network content. At this stage in 2019, I binge watch NXT takeovers. I watched like near enough all of them to get a real hit of NXT, because when I got back into wrestling in 2019, all I'd heard about from the past 3 years that was any good was NXT takeovers. NXT takeovers were like the big thing. In 2017, 2018, 2019, it was, oh my god, takeovers are so good, forget Raw sucks, SmackDown, not so good, SmackDown kind of sucks, NXT's where it's at, okay, and yes, there was some talk about New Japan. I didn't know how to watch New Japan, I still barely do today, but NXT was the bee's knees. I watched NXT takeovers, and I was pretty impressed, to be honest. I mean, this was when I wasn't online yet, this is like August 2019, I was impressed at NXT takeovers, I really was. I was watching all of them. I enjoyed TakeOver New York a lot. I enjoyed TakeOver New Orleans, TakeOver Dallas I really enjoyed. I enjoyed TakeOver Chicago too a lot. All these takeovers, really enjoyed them. And then we roll in late 2019, I start this channel, and I guess you could say the rest is history. Yeah, I mean, I've documented pretty much my whole wrestling story since December 2019. I enjoyed WWE a bit, and then I've not enjoyed it a bit, and then I've enjoyed AEW a bit, and I've not enjoyed them a bit, and it's a real up and down from here, and hopefully from now on the journey takes and kicks up a notch, and we can get some, I guess, more and more positive memories. We can have some fun moments on the JTE channel there, pal. So yeah, I guess there you go. That's been my WWE story. What's yours? Leave it down below. Let's have an interaction. Why not? Why not, pal? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, sub, and if you haven't liked already, I mean, 1 like equals, I guess, I don't know, 1 leg for Kurt Angle. That doesn't make sense. Whatever, 1 like equals, I guess, 1 more chance of me getting views in the algorithm. So yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, sub, you know the drill.